Hey everyone, and welcome! Today, we're cracking open the algebraic toolbox to demystify one of the most important concepts in math, the quadratic equation. We're going to give you the essential tools you need to solve any of these with total confidence. So let's get right into it.
So to kick things off, let me ask you a quick question. Just take a look at these three equations on the screen. Now, at first glance, they might seem pretty different, but they all share one single crucial feature. Any idea what it is?
Did you spot it? It's that little squared symbol. In every single one of these equations, the highest power of our variable, x, is 2. We have an x squared term. That right there is the telltale sign, the dead giveaway that you're dealing with a quadratic equation.
And that brings us to the official definition. A quadratic equation is basically any equation that you can write in this standard form. Ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Now, the absolutely critical part here is that a, the number out front of the x squared, cannot be 0. I mean, think about it. If it were 0, the x squared term would vanish and it wouldn't be a quadratic anymore, right? And this isn't just some abstract math problem. These equations are literally everywhere, from figuring out the arc of a basketball shot to designing bridges.
So here's our game plan for today. We've just covered what a quadratic is. Next, we're going to jump into our first solving method, which is factoring. Then we'll unleash the power tool, the quadratic formula. After that, I'll show you a cool trick to predict what kind of answers you'll get, and we'll wrap up with some final checks and common mistakes to watch out for.
All right, so we've identified our puzzle. We know what a quadratic equation looks like. Now, let's learn how to actually solve it. Okay, the first tool out of our toolbox is factoring. This method is fast, it's elegant, and when it works, it's probably the slickest way to solve these things.
The process is a really simple four-step dance. First, you've got to make sure everything is on one side of the equal sign set to 0. Step 2, you break the expression down into two factors, two sets of parentheses. Step 3, you take each of those parentheses and set them equal to 0 on their own. And finally, step 4, you just solve those two little mini equations. That's it. All right, let's get our hands dirty with a classic example. We're going to solve x squared plus 7x plus 10 equals 0. Now, this one's already in the perfect form for us, so we can jump straight to step 2, factoring. The logic here is kind of like a little puzzle. We're looking for two numbers that do two things at once. They have to multiply to give us the last term, which is 10, and they have to add up to give us the middle term, which is 7. So what numbers do that? Well, 5 and 2. 5 times 2 is 10, and 5 plus 2 is 7. Perfect. So our equation becomes x plus 5 times x plus 2 equals 0. And this is where the magic happens. See, for that whole thing on the left to equal 0, either the first part has to be 0 or the second part has to be 0. It's the only way. So we solve them separately. If x plus 5 equals 0, then a little rearranging tells us x must be negative 5. And if x plus 2 equals 0, then x has to be negative 2. And just like that, we have two distinct answers from one equation. Pretty cool, right? Factoring is awesome. It really is. But what happens when an equation is just stubborn? What if you're staring at it and you just can't find those two magic numbers? Well, that's when we bring out the heavy hitter. This is the quadratic formula, and it's the power tool that works on any quadratic equation, no matter how messy or complicated it looks. You absolutely do not give up. Nope. You just reach for the tool that was designed and built for every single job. And here she is, the big one. Now, I know it might look a little intimidating at first, but trust me, this formula is about to become your best friend. Think of it like a perfect recipe. You just identify your A, B, and C from the equation, you plug them into the right spots in the formula, and it will give you the correct answer every single time. You've got to memorize this one. It's a total game changer. So let's try it out on an equation that would be a real headache to factor. X squared minus 4x minus 1 equals 0. The very first step is just to identify our constants. So a is the number in front of the x squared, which is just 1, b is negative 4, and c is negative 1. And you've got to be super careful with those negative signs. Okay, now we just carefully, piece by piece, substitute those values into our formula. Notice how negative b becomes a positive 4 because b was already negative 4. And we're being very careful with all the signs inside that square root. Honestly, getting this step right is all about taking your time and being precise. After you do all the arithmetic, we're left with this. Now, it's really important to remember that solutions aren't always going to be neat, clean, whole numbers. This is a perfectly correct, valid answer.
That plus or minus symbol is what gives us our two solutions, one where we add the square root of 20 and another where we subtract it. Now for a really cool pro tip, what if I told you there was a way to predict how many solutions an equation has and what kind of solutions they are before you even do all the work? Well, there's a secret decoder ring hidden right inside the quadratic formula that lets you do exactly that.
This little secret decoder is called the discriminant. It's just that one part of the formula, the expression that lives under the square root sign, b squared minus 4ac. The value of this one little piece tells you everything you need to know about the nature of the solutions, or roots. Oh, and by the way, you'll hear people say roots, solutions, x-intercepts. Don't let it throw you. For what we're doing here, they all basically mean the same thing, the values of x that solve the equation.
So here's how it works. It's super straightforward. If the discriminant, that b squared minus 4ac part, turns out to be a positive number, bam, you're going to get two different real solutions. If it comes out to be exactly 0, you'll get just one real solution. And what if it's negative? Well, you can't take the square root of a negative number in the real number system, so that means there are no real solutions. It's like having a crystal ball for your algebra problems. Okay, so you've got the tools, you know the theory. Now let's talk about mastering the craft. Because knowing the common mistakes and how to avoid them is really what separates someone who's just okay at this from someone who's a real pro. Here it is, the single most important habit you can possibly develop. I'm serious. Once you think you have your answer or answers, take them and plug them all the way back into the very first equation you started with. If it works out, if both sides of the equal sign match, you know with 100% certainty that you got it right. It's like having a built-in quality check. And finally, watch out for these classic traps. A simple wrong sign when you're substituting values can throw the whole thing off. Forgetting that plus or minus sign in the formula means you've only found half the answer. And, of course, simple factoring mistakes, or only writing down one solution when there are really two. Just keep an eye out for these, and your accuracy is going to go way, way up.
So there you have it, the complete algebraic toolbox for solving quadratic equations. You've got the quick, elegant method of factoring for when things are simple, and you've got the all-powerful, all-purpose quadratic formula that never fails. So the only question left is, the next time you're faced with a quadratic equation, which tool are you going to reach for first?